is Bree. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video. So this video is going to be for my fellow George Mason students out there, more so the ones that are just now joining us, you know, the freshman class, maybe even sophomore class. So a lot of you guys are being screwed over with your college experience, like a lot of us, and you know, it's making it more difficult to, you know, have that college experience virtually. But I wanted to make a video about how you guys can still make friends and still make connections virtually. So the first thing I want to get into obviously is joining clubs. Joining clubs has been my main source of creating friendships at George Mason. Now I also do want to preface, I probably should have said this before I got into it, but I will say, just based off of my experience and based off of what other people have said that go to Mason, making friends at George Mason is very, very difficult. I don't know why. And granted, some people don't have this issue, so you may not be able to relate, but I've heard from a lot of people, and again, from my own personal experience, it is so hard making friends at George Mason. Like, it's not hard to meet people. It's not hard to make connections, but to make genuine friendships, it's so hard. And part of it has to do with that Northern Virginia culture. I've made a video about that before. I wonder if I should make another video about that. But people in Northern Virginia just very antisocial. They don't care to make genuine connections with people, like genuine friendships with people. A lot of people up there, they're just very much so business minded. So it's more so people want to meet you as a potential connection to get them further ahead in whatever it is that they're trying to do. But in terms of making like real true friendships, it's hard. And so for me, a lot of the people that I've met and that I've had like genuine friendships with has been through clubs. There are hundreds of clubs at George Mason that you can join. And like there's so many. I think there's even like a nap club where people just take naps. There's so many different clubs, and I'm sure that like no matter what you're majoring in, there's a club for it. And so, you know, for me, from my experience, like because I switched majors a lot, so I've actually been in quite a few clubs just because I kept switching majors. Because when I first came to Mason, I was a game design major, and for some reason I couldn't find any like clubs that went with that. Like they had like an anime, they had like a gaming / anime club, but it was more so anime. It was heavily anime, and I wasn't really into that, so I didn't, you know, feel the need to join a club that's primarily about anime. That's not really my thing. And then I know that they have like some esports clubs, but then they were playing games that I either didn't own, or like they were playing like a lot of games that were on the Switch, like, you know, Smash Bros, and I didn't have a Switch at that time. So, but anyway, but I say all that to say, but if you are into that, if you are into esports and anime and all that stuff, there is a club for you. And so for me, I first started out as kind of like, you know, STEM, even though game design isn't considered a STEM major. It's still, you know, coding and stuff. So I got into some clubs. I want to say second semester freshman year. I got into the National Society of Black Engineers and also Women of Color in STEM. Now, the National Society for Black Engineers, which is also referred to as NSBE, I paid the dues, but I like never went to any other meetings because their meetings like always conflicted with something that I was doing. And so even with WalkSTEM, like, which is Women of Color in STEM, the first year that I was in it, I paid my dues, but I only went to like one meeting. But sophomore year, I did a whole lot better with that. And also I was on the e-board for WalkSTEM my sophomore year, and doing that too really helped me make friends. So like not even just being in the club, but also serving in a leadership position, you really get to know the other people that's on your e-board. And I've seen a lot of great friendships grow from that. I know I've made a lot of friends from, well, I won't say a lot, but I made quite a few friends from being on the e-board of some of these clubs. Which brings me to my next point. If you don't want to be on the e-board, or, you know, if you don't want to be like an official member of a club, you can still go to events. There's still a ton of events that are happening virtually. And it's a great way to make friends and make connections. Because I'm not going to lie, when I go to events in real life, I do just kind of want to like chill. I don't want to I kind of just go there kind of just to see what it's about and get a feel for the people. I kind of like stay in the back. But with these Zoom events, I've been almost every single Zoom event that I've gone to, the people running the event, they pretty much make everybody talk, which I kind of don't like. But if you're, you know, if you're really into like meeting new people and stuff like that, I definitely recommend just hopping in a Zoom call, hopping into a virtual event. There's, again, plenty of them going around. Just you know, make sure that you go on a lot of these orgs too are on Instagram, and they will post flyers, and they'll have the link to the Zoom event either in their bio or on Mason 360. So that's another thing too. If you want to, you know, try to see like what clubs are out there that you can join, you just have no idea what's out there, go to Mason 360 and just start typing in stuff and see what's out there. So also, I would say that another way that you can make friends is by getting to know your classmates. I know there are people out there who, especially if you have like a really tough class like accounting or finance, or even like what's that one class that everybody talks about? It's like a computer coding class. It's like I don't know. But anyway, so sometimes people will start study groups for a class that's really, really difficult. I've seen people, because you actually have the ability to email everybody in your class. It's somewhere on Blackboard. They changed how Blackboard looks, so I don't know where that feature is at the moment. But there is a feature that allows you to email everybody in your class, and I've seen people do that and try to formulate a study group and you know, collect everybody's like information who wants to join, and that could be a good way to meet people as well. But also and this might be a little tricky, but I would say group projects, but it depends on the group. If you have a really sucky group who doesn't put in their who doesn't put in effort into their part of the project, and they're really, really lazy, you might end up resenting them, and it's going to be even harder to make friends from that. But speaking for me personally, when I've had groups where we all equally put in the same amount of effort and everything ran smoothly, I was able to gain like actual friendships from that, even from the like, because even in my marketing class, I had like a really good group in that one, and we, of course, we had our phone numbers and stuff because we we're working on a project together. And even when the class was over, we still would keep in contact and talk about you know, what classes are we going to take next semester and things like that. And so I think that if you get lucky with a good group of people, you could also make friendships from that. And also social media, of course. Social media is the main way that people are meeting and connecting nowadays. In terms of George Mason, so this is dependent on which platform you use. So I would say that for Twitter, I made a lot of people from George Mason on Twitter, like a big chunk, especially like prior to joining George Mason. I met a lot of people on Twitter because a lot of times when you are a freshman coming in, people will go on Twitter and they'll kind of start a like an introduction type of thing. And so you can actually go on Twitter, you can probably type in the hashtag GMU, and they'll put your graduating year, and usually you will see that people have already started introducing themselves and things like that. So that's like a really good way to meet people. But that's how I met a lot of people, or even just looking up the hashtag in general, just looking up, like for me, I was the freshman class of 2022, so or graduating 2022, and so I would put hashtag GMU 2022 22, and I would see who was coming in with me, and I was able to connect with a lot of those people, mostly because I was trying to find a roommate. So I ended up talking to a lot of people just trying to find a roommate, and I still ended up being friends with them and things like that. And so that's definitely a good way. Instagram, same thing. You can look up the hashtag of your incoming freshman class and see who's posting and things like that. I know some people will even make a whole Instagram page, and you can introduce yourself through those pages and things like that. So, oh, and also Facebook. So Facebook actually, Facebook, there's quite a few groups you can join for George Mason. There's like a general George Mason group, I think, and then there are George Mason groups again for each graduating class. There's also a general George Mason group as well, where anybody of any class can go in there and post things literally about anything. People go in there to complain about Mason. People go in there to sell textbooks. People go in there to talk about how nice the campus looks. People go in there to market their business or services in there. I've posted in there a few times. I stopped though because people were getting on my nerves. I mean, it's a good place to like ask questions and get to know people. Well, actually no. If you wanna introduce yourself to other people, do it in the specific group for your graduating class, but don't do it in the general posting. General posting is literally just anything in general that you want to post about Mason, or anything that you feel like is valuable to the group. Like a lot of photographers go in there around the time that people need graduation photos and stuff like that. So yeah, but those are just some ways that you guys can meet new people and make connections. I hope this video helped. And if there are any other George Mason type of videos that you guys want me to make, please leave them in the comments down below, because I have no idea what you guys want in terms of George Mason content, because I've already made so many videos. And so let me know if there's anything specifically you guys want me to touch on in regards to George Mason. And yeah, if this video helped, make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.